The National Jazz Museum in Harlem is very proud to share this item from its archives. It's from a 2007 educational event that the legendary vocalist, drummer, educator, jazz giant Grady Tate did for us at the Thurgood Marshall Academy in Harlem. The host that day was Greg Thomas, and you'll see him in conversation with Mr. Tate. Sorry that the video quality isn't super high. However, the content of what Mr. Tate lays down for the enthralled students is as high as it can get. And we're honored to share this excerpt from our archives.
It's so simple, and it doesn't sound like much here, but when you incorporate this with a bass player who's playing bing, boom, bang, boom, gang, gang, bang, boom, bang, boom, you know, it all works together. You got to know how loud let it play or how quiet let it play.
Can you get one question?
Mm-hmm.
Could you just, one last thing, demonstrate the difference between so-called swing drumming and bebop drumming?
Well, bebop drumming was...
I mean, swing era.
Well, the swing era was 4/4 on the bass drum. That was the swing era, you know. And one of the reasons they could play it like that was because at that time there was no amplification. And the bass player was an adjunct to the bass drum was an adjunct to the bass player. The bass player had the tonality, and you had the pulse that would go across into the people, you know. So you play. Bebop came. Right?
It's not straightforward. Broke it up.
You know, that kind of thing. You just break it up, you know, and not let everybody play his own time, you know. It's fun. It's fun playing all the different types. But these things here, man, you have to be able to tune. See, these are not drums now. These are just things with heads on them. This is loud, and it doesn't sound like a snare. It sounds like a piece of garbage, you know. You tune these things, get everything right. You get the tom-toms up, you know, and you know this is high enough, but it needs a muffler, you know, because you want everything to be the same. You want everything to have that same overall dynamic. So when you want it to be loud, you make it loud. This is loud even when you do that. You know, just drop the stick on it. It's too wide open. That's what made bebop so great, because it had everything muffled, and you could play all the drums almost as loudly as you wanted to. You know, because it was a suggestion of, it's like, no, not that way. Well, they have to. Yeah, you know, this is better. You can play so much more things that are distinguishable if you have it muffled. You know, you can play things on, you know, because you can't play that with it wide open, because it doesn't cut through. Nothing. Noise.
To properly tune, it's like you can play songs on it, you can play melodies on the drums, right?
You do have melodies of sort. You have to know which of these things to play with what horns, you know. And with piano, it's so critical to swing with the piano, unless it's Oscar Peterson because he's a dynamo. He plays hard and it swings, so you can play as loudly as you want.